Hello, this is Jason. Start my timer. There we go. And this is another walk and talk. Look at this. Come on. They are digging up the side of the road. Beautiful afternoon, evening, sunset time. And I'm recording in 1080p. I don't think anyone really appreciates 4K video on YouTube. Look at the sunset. It's pretty. It's behind the clouds, but it'll get even prettier when it gets lower. We're probably about an hour from sunset. But anyways, I don't think people really appreciate 4K video or HDR video. I've been recording and editing in HDR. I do get I tell my mom, she tries to watch it on her phone and she doesn't have an HDR phone. I'm like, no, watch my videos on your TV. I got her a TV for Christmas that's HDR. I mean, it makes, especially scenes like this, like that, looks so much better in HDR. So you get the sun highlights with those dark shadows of the clouds. Like this looks so much better in HDR than it will in just non-HDR. So yeah, I've been recording my videos in HLG HDR 4K, and I don't know how many people actually watch them in that format. So I'm gonna record in 1080p HDR. Well, actually, the different settings on my camera, there's just a normal profile, there's an HDR profile, which is what I've been recording in, and there's a D-Log profile, which I'm actually recording in D-Log right now. And then I'll make it HDR in my editing software later. And while you would record in D-Log, it's just a flat color profile. You could kind of do more stylization of your videos. And the video that I posted on my walk and talk video on Jason MP78, I made it very vivid, vibrant colors, especially like you could tell the oranges in that video were like really popping, and the sky was vibrant blue. And I'm not gonna make them that vibrant this time. This will just be a normal color correction. But I don't know, you just get more creative control if you record in a flat profile like D-Log. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? I'm sure there's someone out there that knows what I'm talking about. So let's see, what topics can we discuss this today besides color profiles and recording formats. But it's like, another thing I wanted to mention is in that video, my walk and talk video I posted on Jason MP78, it was in 4K, and I did like Mr. Beast style subtitles over the whole video, which was like an hour and 20 minutes long, and that about killed my laptop. So, man, I look pretty dark. So, my laptop was about to burst into flames with all those subtitles. It ended up being like, I don't know, 6,000 subtitles that it had to process when it was rendering. And actually, it locked up my computer like after it was an hour into it. So I had to break it up into 2 separate halves to even get it to render out. I had to render half and then render those 2 halves to make a full video. So I'm not going to do that anymore. Mr. Beast doesn't make an hour and 20 minute long videos, so he doesn't have that problem. Can't do the fancy Mr. Beast subtitles on videos that long. I don't even think subtitles are really needed anyway. YouTube does auto captions. You can turn the closed captioning on if you need to know what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm just going to record in 1080p. Still going to do HDR because I love HDR. And the HLG HDR makes it pretty good that when you're watching on just a standard dynamic range display, it still looks good. Whereas if you do like, there's like an ST HDR, and if you watch that on an SDR TV, everything looks like the highlights are all completely blown out. It looks horrible. So if you're gonna make a HDR video and upload on YouTube, use HLG. That's what you should make it in, if anyone's interested in doing that, because then it looks good on an SDR TV too. Pro tip. Ask me how long it took me to figure that out. I made so many videos and was uploading them, and I'd look in the preview and then I'd look on a normal TV and it was just completely whitewashed out, unviewable. So it took me a long time to figure out that. So pro tip, HLG. Yeah, you know me. All right, I'm gonna turn you guys around so you don't have to look at my ugly mug this whole trip. I'll strap you on my chest. There you go. I don't know why the microphone thing just popped up. So, other topics. My friend Misty is texting me. Let's see what she's saying. I just introduced her to ChatGPT. Had her download the ChatGPT app on her iPhone. If you guys haven't tried out the ChatGPT app on your iPhone, I would recommend doing it. It's just like your little, you can ask it things. She was asking about like trip to Bahamas, if you need a passport to go to the Bahamas. And I asked ChatGPT and sent her the answer. So the answer is you do. Especially if you're flying in there. If you're taking a cruise in there, you could use a passport card or enhanced driver's license, it said. Now she asked, do I want to do something for my birthday? Oh gosh, that's Friday the 14th. I don't know. I'll just give her an I don't know shrug. Once, like, it's gonna be my 46th birthday You know, I don't really care about doing stuff for my birthday anymore. I don't want to make a big deal out of it. Like, it's going out to eat or go have a beer, you know, that'd be fine. That's what I'll tell her. Say I'll go out to eat somewhere. Speaking of eating, I was pretty surprised of all my new channels I created. My Eating with Jason channel is the one that's got the most subscribers so far. So I didn't expect that. I thought the people, like, that would be my least subscribed channel, because I have had people, when I was posting on Wicked Shrapnel, it would say, like, you know, this is gross, I don't want to watch somebody eat. Like, they were made it vocally known that they were not into watching someone eat food. But apparently there's a lot of people that do like that, so that's why I broke it up into different channels. If you don't like watching somebody eat food, you definitely don't want to subscribe to the Eating with Jason channel, because that's what you're going to get. I don't know how far I'm going to walk. Let me see. I also need to adjust. There we go. It's probably going to be dark by the time I get back home. Sun sets in about 40 minutes. But yeah, it's kind of fun starting new channels, starting at zero. None of them are monetized. It's just like starting from scratch. They may never get monetized. Like, I don't have that many people that are actually following me anymore. When I made the Wicked Vlogs channel, and I had made like Wicked Shrapnel 2, I made Wicked Shrapnel Live before. Like, anytime that I'd made a second or third channel in the past, back when people were actually watching my videos, like, they would get like 5,000 to 8,000 subs in a day or two, and I'd be like monetized by the end of the week. Now it may take me years to get enough subs. I think you have to get 1,000 subs, and then it's like a lot of watch hours. I forget, like 100,000 watch hours or something crazy. So I have no idea how long that'll take. Although the Eating with Jason channel got 100 subs. I got 100 subs in a day. It's not that bad. I still have people that care. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And doggone it, people like me. But I highly doubt that I'll get as many subs as I got on Wicked Shrapnel on any new channel. That took a lot of luck And most of those subs came from machinima. So me posting my "this gun fucking sucks" videos on machinima, that drove the vast 99% of my subs came from that show on machinima every week for years. I forget how many videos I made, 100 of those videos, and those videos would get like 1 million views on machinima. On the main, they're posting them on the main machinima channel and on the machinima respawn channel, and driving all those millions of views. And out of millions of views, I only got 100,000 subs. So, well, my peak sub count on Wicked Shrapnel was, I think, 209, somewhere around 209, 210,000. And now it's down to 192,000. And I had joked that I was working on getting 100,000 subs, and that's when I was at 209,000 subs. So that channel was just, for the past few years, was losing like 100, 200 subs a month. And then videos, like I'd upload my travel video, and it only got 200 views. With 192,000 subscribers, it got 200 views. And then I uploaded it on my Jason MP78, or no, on the Traveling with Jason channel that had 0 subs. So before I even told anyone about my channel, I wanted to see how many views I'd get on it with no subs. And I got like 50 views. So 50 views with no subs. And I got 200 views with 192,000 subs. So I'd rather have 50 views with no subs than 200 views with 192,000. Like, it feels like an accomplishment to get 50 views with no subs, because there's really no expectations. Any view you get is a view you really shouldn't have got. But when you get 200 views with 192,000 subs, that's like discouraging. And I know it's not that YouTube, it's not that all 192,000 of my subs saw the video and chose not to view it. It's that YouTube was just no longer showing my videos to the vast majority of my subs. And the reason why they were doing that is because I posted so many different types of videos on the channel. That's the first mile. And the vast majority of people subscribed for Call of Duty and didn't want to watch the different types of videos. And then when you skip video, I've already explained this before. YouTube channels need to be super focused on one type of content. That's the name of the game. So let's stop talking about that. I'm just excited to be starting over. And another thing, I'm working on eating all the carbs I got in my cupboard. I've told my mom this so many times. I want to go on like low carb type diet again. Be like, but I gotta eat all the food I got. And I probably have like 10 pounds of spaghetti to get through. Got a couple Pop-Tarts to eat. I have ate all my potatoes, so it's not, there's some milk and cereal I gotta get through, but eventually I'm gonna get through all that stuff, and I'm just gonna be doing like chicken. I already bought a bunch of chicken and have it individually packed in little 1-quart freezer bags with some peppers. So peppers might have a little bit of carbs, but they add enough flavor that I'm okay with eating a few carbs to get some pepper flavor. Just like regular green peppers, red bell peppers. So I'm eating that. I do have a lot of rice, which it's hard to eat just like chicken and peppers. Might have to make some kind of sauce. It would be nice to just eat it over rice. But for at least a little while, I'm gonna go like as low carb as I can. But I do have this ulcerative colitis that I can't just do a high fat. That's why I have to avoid like eating the ribeye steaks, even though I do have some ribeye steaks. I just eat them every once in a while. I can't just have a diet of just ribeye steaks. Too high fat. My guts don't like it. So I'm gonna try chicken breast mainly. That's probably the least fatty part of the chicken. Let's see what Misty said. Do a piano bar or karaoke or both. Bar hop, make it a scavenger hunt game in the domain, scavenger hunt. That'd be cool. I don't know how that works. I'll say that sounds fun. I'll do whatever. Whatever's clever. Let's see what pace I'm walking at. I'm walking at an 18-minute, 28-second mile pace. That's it's just like a casual pace for me. Back when I haven't had my tendonitis flare up for a few days. I've had to slow down to like 20-minute mile pace to kind of stop that from flaring up in the past. And then I've walked as fast as, like my fast walking pace was like 16-minute mile. And the fastest that I've done this whole route that I'm walking right now was just under an hour and a half. But I'm not on pace to do that this time. And I would like to cross over. I'm not in a rush to go. Go ahead. I'm gonna walk this way. This guy. Oh, thanks. I mean, they had a stop sign, right? Or did I just walk out in the middle of the road? I wanted to go over here, show you guys this. Yeah, they have a stop sign. This nice little pond I got over here. Very nice and peaceful. As you get farther up in this neighborhood, the houses get much nicer. Got a little fountain out there. I've seen ducks here before. Pretty cool, huh? There's a turtle out there. The water's very green. No climbing on fountain. It's like a little deck over there. Pretty cool. Hello. Here, an ice cream truck. That's it. Just want to show you guys that. I'm at 1.5 miles. I do feel a slight tinge of the tendonitis in my right leg. Perineal tendonitis. This goes up the front right side of my right leg. And the way I fixed that before was going on a carnivore diet. It's just like inflammation, an inflammation problem. I'm just gonna slow down a little bit. Let's see if I can keep it from a full flare up. Doggy. 2 doggies. Hi, doggies. Bow, wow, wow. Yippee-oh, yippee-yay. I make my own tea. I fill up these Snapple bottles. Sometimes I'll stop at a gas station and like this is a Mango Madness bottle. But I'll get these bottles, they're 32 ounces. Then I just make my own tea at home. It's Lipton tea, unsweetened. And I drink a lot of black tea. I mean, it's almost like drinking water. It's got a little flavor to it. I prefer tea over coffee. More of a tea guy. Oh yeah, we're starting to get cool looking sun. Cool looking sun going on over there. This is what shooting in HDR it's all about. Get the brightness of the sun and all the darkness and the shadows. And if you watch on an HDR TV, it just makes the sun look like it's actually there. Like HDR goes up to 1,000 nits in brightness, whereas SDR, which is everything that's not HDR, only goes up to 100 nits in brightness. So HDR is 10 times brighter in the highlights, and the blacks just kind of look, it can more dynamic range. The dark and black areas look more dark, more black, and the bright areas look more bright. So there's a higher range between the lights and the darks. Just makes it look more realistic. Sometimes it makes it look even better than real life. I'm a big fan of HDR, if you haven't noticed. All right, how long are we? Half hour. So we're about a third through the walk. And that's one reason why after I posted that walk and talk video on my Jason MP78 channel, like before, even in that video, I'm like, I don't really think I should make a walk and talk with Jason channel, because most people probably wouldn't be interested in watching those videos. And then I realized that's exactly the reason why you should make your own channel for that type of video. Because if you're posting videos that people really don't want to watch, I'd say more people than not would not want to watch a hour and a half long video of me walking through my neighborhood and just talking about random stuff. So that's a great reason to make a channel just for that content, so that people that do want to watch it can subscribe to it and they won't be skipping over it on my other channel. And then that's what leads to YouTube not suggesting videos, is when you're posting stuff and people are skipping over it. So lesson learned. I should have made that realization earlier before I posted it to my new channel, which is, that's not my real new channel. Jason P78 is older than Wicked Shrapnel, so yeah. Man, getting sweat on. Hello. You know, a lot of these houses get bigger and bigger as you go up here. Let's check out. Can't really see the sun at the moment. We will get up higher on the hill up here. This walk has a lot of elevation change too. Walking the hills. And Misty was talking about going to the Bahamas. I've never been to the Bahamas. I think she's talking about going for New Year's. I will not be here. I'll be in Bangkok for a month. I'll be in Bangkok for Christmas. I'll be in Bangkok for New Year's. All by myself. That'll be fun. It'll be the first time solo traveling outside the United States. I've done a lot of solo traveling inside the United States. I traveled for my work when I worked for my uncle for like 10 years, and I got sent places by myself all the time. He used to call me the wolf. It's like the lone wolf, but also the wolf from Pulp Fiction. So like some of my coworkers would be working on a site, and there would be like stuff that they couldn't figure out. They call my uncle, and he'd be like, "I'm sending the wolf." Well, that's all you had to say. I was the jack of all trades tech guy when I worked for my uncle. So the company I work for now, I just, I'm very focused on just supporting Microsoft server software. But when I worked for my uncle, I worked on Microsoft server software, but I also worked on phone systems. I worked on camera systems. I worked on video distribution systems. We used to install video systems in schools. So we go in and install like, 6 to 8 racks, usually in the library. And this was like back in late 90s, early 2000s. So most of the libraries had a bunch of VHS tapes. So we install like 30, 40 VCRs in this room in the library. And that would be like their distribution system. So instead of, back when I was in school, they would have carts that had a VCR and a TV on it, and you'd wheel the cart. Like they would only have 2 or 3 carts. I'm at 2 miles. They'd have like, 2, 3, 4 carts in the whole school. You have to rent out the cart if you wanted to show a movie in your classroom. And they would just wheel the whole cart into the classroom and you'd watch a movie. But what we installed was a whole centralized video distribution system. So we'd install TVs, a TV in every classroom. And back then it was huge. We were installing these 32-inch TVs that were, CRT TVs, and they weigh like 500 pounds, 300 to 500 pounds. They're heavy. That might be an exaggeration. They're probably 200 pounds. But anyway, it felt like 500 pounds when you're lifting them over your head. Some of them we'd have to mount like in gyms, and we'd mount them like 12, 15 feet in the air. And you'd have a guy, 2 ladders, and we're carrying them up the ladders. It was nerve-wracking. We dropped a few TVs too in our day. But yeah, so you'd install a TV in every classroom, and then in the library, they would schedule videos. So, you have 40 VCRs, so you can have 40 different videos going to different TVs, or you could broadcast them to every TV in the whole school. So they would have like the morning announcements, where when I was in school, it was just audio. You'd hear it come over the speakers. But in these schools, they had video. So it was like a morning news broadcast kind of like Channel 1. We did have Channel 1 in my school. That was kind of like a school news thing, but that was nationwide. It wasn't a specific to only your school. Where this, we could broadcast. They would have like kids that do the video broadcast journalism and have like morning news, read out what's going to be on for lunch for the day. Or there was like a video broadcast, but you could also do, schedule, I want to watch this National Geographic documentary, and you could schedule it to go to room 212, and the librarian would go put in the tape in VCR number 1, and they'd punch it in on the computer where it was going to go, and they would send that video to that classroom. And in the classroom on their computer, they can control the VCR, so they could pause it, stop it. They would get assigned that VCR to their room for the scheduled block of time. It was pretty cool. And the video system was called Safari. I'm not sure if they're still around. You can Google Safari video systems, see if they're still around. I went to, they were headquartered in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And I went there several times for training. And we do phone systems, Nortel, Meridian. We'd run all the cable. We'd run voice, video, and data cables. I did, and it'd just be random things too. Like a school would say, do you guys do like signs? Like signs where we can write stuff and it'll send it out to the sign? And my uncle would be like, yeah, we do that. So he would go order a sign, $10,000, $20,000 sign that you could send messages to it from a computer. And he would just be, hey, Jason, figure out how this works. Train them on how to use it. So there's many instances of things like that where I just had to figure stuff out or learn stuff like in a very short amount of time and then pretend to be an expert on it. There was one contract we bid on and we won the bid, and in the contract it said that you had to have, like, whoever is submitting these bids had to have a on-staff CCNA, Cisco Certified Network Administrator, I think is what it stands for. And that's a pretty hard cert to get. So we win this bid, and they're like asked for all the stuff to prove that we were meeting the requirements to have won the bid. They didn't ask for it ahead of time, but we had 30 days after we won the bid to submit all the materials to prove that we were meeting the specifications. So my uncle's like, you have less than 30 days to get a CCNA. And anyone that has a CCNA cert knows what a ridiculous request that is. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm not doing anything else. I'm going home and I'm studying. And that's what I did. I went home, studied. After 2 weeks of every day, wake up from morning till I went to bed just studying CCNA books and doing like network emulators, playing around with like emulating routers. After 2 weeks, I went and took the CCNA test. I failed it. Went back home, studied, crammed for another week. Took the CCNA test, failed it. And there was a limit too. Like, I think if I failed it 3 times, I'd have to wait even longer. So I'm cramming. And the deadline was coming up too, where we had to submit the CCNA that we had on staff. And I went back and took it a 3rd time, and I passed in under 30 days. Because we had 30 days to like submit the requirement or whatever. So that was probably the craziest, crunch accomplishment that I created or achieved. And that's a lot of pressure. Just like, a multi-million-dollar contract, and it's depending on me passing this test in under a month. Pretty crazy. But I did it. It's an accomplishment that I still remember to this day. So he did put my feet to the fire and made me achieve things I didn't think were possible. Whew. But I do like not being subjected to that kind of pressure. Whew. What are we at now? 2.5 miles. And it's been 46 minutes. So we're about halfway there. About the halfway point. So this was the route that I was doing every day for 10 weeks straight before I got the Rona. The vid Rona. And so many loud trucks. Need to get up to these clearings up here to see the sunset. This over here on the left is like I think it's like a senior homes, senior apartments. Can't read that from here, but I see old people coming out of there a lot. And there was an old lady that I kept walking by every day, and I'd stop and talk to her. She said she lived here. My friend Ron lives in a neighborhood not too far from here. And I did bring so look at this. This is my little head strap light. Light. It's gonna be dark before long. Strap that on my head. It's like, especially in this section at night, because I was coming out and walking at 9 o'clock at night. So for a few weeks, it wouldn't get below 90 degrees until like 9 o'clock at night. We had some few days over 100, like 104 at the high of the day, and the high of the day is usually around 5 o'clock, so walking right when I get off work is not an option. Walking this far. I used to go take like little under a mile walks when it was like 110 outside, but I could not do a over 5 mile walk when it's that hot. Let's see what the temperature is right now. It's 81 degrees right now. That's cool. Nice and cool. I walked by several fire stations on this walk. It's one of them. Hey, how you doing? Alright, here we might get some clearing. See some sunset views. Look at that. Pretty. Look at the colors and the clouds. Beautiful, glorious, as my grandma would always say. Look at that glorious sunset. Whew. Hey, there's a Cybertruck. See them pretty often now. They're still only selling the Cyber Beast and the top end ones. I think the cheapest one's like $109,000 at the moment. When I pre-ordered it 5 years ago, they said it was going to be $39,900. And I would have bought one at that price, but I'm not spending over $100,000 on any vehicle ever. And the resale value of used cars right now is like horrible. I think cars in general are not selling very well right now. I think we're in a mild recession at the moment, mainly because prices are so high, inflation. Well, let's get some more view ropes. Some pink clouds. Yeah, I looked up like I paid, I think it was $42,000 for my Model 3, but I got the $7,500 tax rebate. So it brings it down to $35,000. But I think the resale value or the current market value of it right now is like under 30. And I think I only owe like 27 on it right now. So I could sell it for what I owe on it, but it's not holding value very well. And it's not all the fault of Tesla, although the resale value seems to be not great on them. It's the current market too. Whereas my Honda Civic I bought that for, what did I buy it for? I think I bought it for 32 or 33, and I sold it after owning it for 14 months. I sold it for exactly what I paid for it, which is unheard of. You know, when you drive a brand new car, I bought it brand new. You drive a brand new car with a lot, you expect you're losing like 10 to 20% right as you drive off the lot. But that was just like at the height of the resale value in cars were just crazy at that time. Here we go. Here's a good spot for sunset view ropes. Very nice. What kind of cars are you guys driving out there? What car are you currently driving? Year, make, and model, and color. And what car, I would say under $100,000 is your dream car. I don't want to hear about fantasy, unattainable McLarens. I want to hear some realistic, if you want a pretty good scratch-off ticket, you could actually buy. Like, I'm really loving the Tesla. I've always hated paying for gas, and it's not like an environmental reasons why. It's just gas prices have always, you know, I guess just how high gas prices have got in my lifetime just makes me feel like we're just getting gouged, which we are. There's current FTC suing like these oil companies for colluding and keeping prices high. That's like going on right now. So it's not just a feeling I have, it's based in fact. Where oil companies just are greedy and take advantage of people. So I hate paying for gas. So like I can remember gas being 79 cents a gallon. That's probably the lowest I remember it. And it's got high as like $5 a gallon. It's just crazy. So I just, you know, not for environmental reasons, not to save the planet, not to battle global warming, which I do think all of those things are actually valid, but the impact an individual person has is very minimal. Like there's a lot bigger things to target in the world besides, you know, someone owning a gas car. Like the fuel efficiency in modern cars are pretty good. So I don't think one person buying a Tesla is making any difference. But it makes it so I don't have to buy gas from greedy oil barons. And that alone increases my happiness. Pardon me. There's a Thai restaurant up here I haven't been to in years. It's just okay. that other place that I went to, Thai cuisine in Austin, I like better. But yeah, and just the cost to fuel up, like to charge my Tesla at home, it costs like $4 or $5 to fill up my tank, so to speak. I pay, I think, 10 cents a kilowatt hour for my home electricity, and I think it's a what is it? I think my car is a 70 kilowatt hour battery. So like $7 to completely charge up my car at home. Try getting 250 miles on $7 in any gas-powered vehicle. You're not going to do it. Even on like a hybrid, you're not going to do it. I think the highest miles per gallon is like a Honda Civic hybrid. Probably gets like 55 miles a gallon in the city. And that's if you're not going, over 40, 50 miles an hour. And you're not going to get close. With gas being $3 a gallon at least, and say it's rounded off, say 50 miles a gallon, that would be $15 to go 250 miles in one of the most fuel efficient hybrid gas cars. So it's like twice the price of charging at home in a Tesla. It's pretty good. So it saves money. And it's not that expensive. Like you buy a Honda Civic hybrid, I think that's $35,000 to $40,000. So it's right around the same price as a standard range Tesla Model 3. So people always think like Teslas are so expensive. Hello. Really not. Base model Tesla Model 3s, especially when you're getting the $7,500 tax credit. I mean, it's probably on par with Honda Civic, Honda Accord, maybe even cheaper, especially when you factor in maintenance costs. So you don't have to change oil. So every year you're changing oil. There's a lot more moving parts in a gas car. The only moving parts in a Tesla are just the motor, electric motor itself. And then, like door hinges. Like there's no maintenance. You gotta change the tires. That's one thing, the Tesla will eat up car tires a lot faster. You gotta get new tires like every 20,000 miles instead of every 40 or 50,000 miles. It's because the car is so heavy, it wears the tires. Whew. But when that's your only maintenance cost, it's not bad. Whew. So even if I could pick any car I wanted under $100,000, I would probably go with like a Tesla Model S, all-wheel drive, long range, not the super high-end. That one's over 100,000, I'm pretty sure. The Plaid. I would love to have a Plaid if I can get one for under 100,000 in this wish list of mine. I don't think that's possible. I like the electric cars. I'd probably do the Ford F-150 electric one. That one's actually pretty cool. I would drive that. I'm pretty sure that's under 100,000. There's I think they have an electric Chevy Silverado. I've seen it looks pretty good too. The new Silverados kind of have the same design as the old Chevy Avalanche. I drove that truck for many years. It was my company car when I worked for my uncle for a while. It was originally his car and he drove it for a few years and then gave it to me. And I drove it all over the country. And then when I left working for him, he sold it to me for like, I think $7,000. It's a good deal. It did have like 180,000 miles on it or something. It's very high miles. It gives you an idea of how much I drove all over the country. Yeah, I worked all over the country and we drove everywhere with a truck and a big like 12, 14 foot long enclosed trailer towing it behind the truck. It had all of our ladders and equipment in it. But I love that Avalanche. And it was a good, like, I camped out in it. I got a tent that went over the bed of the truck. So you put a tent on the bed and then the whole front thing like folded down into the back seat. So you could have like air conditioning in your whole bed in the back. You could live in that thing. I went camping a few times in Oklahoma and it had like TVs in it. My uncle put like 3 TVs. There was a TV in the back of each headrest and then a flip-up TV in the center in the front, and had like a bypass so that you can actually watch a movie while you're driving down the road in it. Had a DVD player in it. That was pretty cool. And then the car that he got after that one was the Hummer H2, and he tricked that one out. He had a TV in the back of each seat and big TV in the middle console in the front. And then on that one, he put a satellite dish on the roof. It was just like a flat thing. Like there's nothing sticking up. It was just a flat thing that went on the rack on the roof. And it was a tracking satellite dish. So you could tune into DirecTV while you're driving down the road. So that was awesome. And that was back in like, it was right when the Hummer H2 came out. I forget when that was. 2003, 2004, I'm guessing. 2005. He had it whenever it first came out. And those satellite dish things existed back then. Yep. So that was some pretty incredible technology. And now they have the Starlink satellite, so you can have a car with one of those Starlink dishes on the roof. So you can have high-speed internet while you're driving down the highway, and a satellite dish, watching TV, browsing the internet. Technology's awesome. I'm a technology addict. Whew. Oh, take these sunglasses off. That brightened things up. Whew. Ooh, I'm at 3.72 miles. And we've been walking for an hour and 10 minutes. Probably have about half hour to go. I'm not going to be finishing in record time. Won't be getting back in under 90 minutes. Yeah, so my uncle had found out about those tracking satellite dishes from a job we did for what's the railroad? Oh my God, I forget the name of the railroad. It's the Union Pacific? I think it's Union Pacific. I'm pretty sure they're the ones that are headquartered in Omaha, Nebraska. You can Google it. But anyway, they called us up and they wanted to they had a board of directors train. So all these like super fancy train cars that they keep in Omaha, and they only take it out like 2 or 3 times a year. Like they take it to wherever the Super Bowl is. They go to the Super Bowl every year. So all the board of directors loads up on the train in Omaha, and they'll take the train to wherever the Super Bowl is. And they wanted us to install these satellite dishes on the trains, and they wanted us to install they had like a big boardroom table where like 12 people sit down, and it was always hard to hear in there because they'd have meetings while they're going down the railroad while the train's moving. So they put speakers in the car, and then we put all these noise canceling mics in so they could just push a mic and talk, and then everyone could hear around the whole table. So instead of speaking loudly, we just had a whole microphone and speaker system so they could hear each other. So I got to ride on that train. I loaded up in Omaha, and we rode it all the way up to Sacramento. And we would stop, like I'd say, oh, I need some more wire, or I need this, I need that. So we'd stop, and they have people everywhere. So we'd stop in Sacramento, and they just get on the phone. Someone would come pick us up in a blacked out Escalade and take us to like Fry's Electronics. And I'd get all the stuff I need, load back up on the train, and take off. And I think we stopped and we went through like Oakland, went all the way down the coast of California, which is so beautiful. And they have this train car where it's like a double decker, and you walk up on top and it has a dome glass top. So you sit up there and you have like, 360 degree view, and just sitting up there while you're going down the coast of California, looking out over the whole ocean, right as the sun's setting. It was glorious. Glorious, as my grandma would say. Like, you can't even buy a ticket to ride on that train. It's like one of the fanciest trains in the world. Like each train car is like all decked out in like mahogany wood through the whole thing, and gold, like the sinks are made of gold. It's crazy. And we went all the way to Las Vegas. So I rode from Omaha up to Northern California, all the way down the coast of California, and then over to Las Vegas. And I got the whole job done. That whole trip took like a week. And I got the job done while we're going down the tracks. And it was just me. So my uncle, again, just sent me on there. I had to install this whole system in there and did it all myself. They just sent the wolf. They're sending the wolf. Oh, shit, that's all you had to say? When I'm crossing here, I like to walk behind these cars. Because if they get a chance to go, I don't want to be blocking them. Ooh. We're coming up on some of the construction. So I've been walking 76 minutes, and it says I've only burned 558 calories. Really, it's hard to just exercise and burn fat. Like, you have to walk all day long, every day, to really make a dent in the fat deposits. But I think when you do exercise, you get some like residual fat burning even when you stop. Like, all your muscles get strained and your body has to rebuild your muscles. It takes extra energy even when you're resting after you exercise, that you still have an elevated calorie burn rate even when you're done exercising. And walking every day is better than not walking every day. Got to keep the heart going too. Cardiovascular exercise. I have a history of heart disease in my family, so getting this weight off and keeping my heart healthy is pretty important, even though I don't think about it every day. It is important. I need to lose some weight. Look. I like that sunset horizon. Beautiful. So what I think I'm going to do pretty soon, once all my perishable food is eaten, I'm going to get down to, not eating everything that's in the freezer or dried goods that's in the pantry. Once my milk's gone and cheese and lunch meat, eggs, once that stuff's gone out of my refrigerator, which maybe in a week from now, I'm going to try to do a 7-day water fast. And it's been a while since I fasted. I've done juice fast before. I remember posting that on my Wicked Shrapnel channel. And I've had, even before I was making videos, I've done, I forget what it was called, some kind of cleanse. It was like a lemonade with cayenne pepper in it and grade B maple syrup. And I drank only that drink for like 2 weeks straight. I think it's called the Master Cleanse. Google that. I did that before. My mom says I'm such an extremist. Go from eating 5,000 calories a day to eating none. But I haven't done just a water fast for that long. So I'm gonna shoot for 7 days. I have done like 3 or 4 days, and I was doing alternate day fasting, where I was eating one day, not eating at all the next, eating one day, eating, and I think that's harder. So I think the first day, the first 2 days when you're fasting are the hardest. And then after your stomach's completely emptied out and it's begged for food for a whole day, it kind of says, okay, I guess we're not getting anything, so I'll shut up now. So I'm gonna shoot for 7 days. And then there's this guy I watch. I think I've talked about him in the past. He has a channel called Camera Conspiracies, where he reviews different cameras. And then he has another channel called Vegetable Police, where he does all these crazy diets. And he's had ulcerative colitis and said that he healed it with like a fruit diet. He actually went to Thailand before. He lived in Thailand for a year. He went there because he wanted to do a fruit diet. And while he was there doing a fruit diet, he ended up switching to do a carnivore diet. And meat there is actually more expensive. Fruits are cheap. So he kind of did that all wrong. He's funny. But he's done dry fasting. So that seems even crazier. I think he did 8 days dry fasting. That means not drinking any water, not putting anything in your body at all. I don't know about that. That seems wild. I think drinking a lot of water is the better way to do it myself. I mean, you have to, when your body's breaking down stuff, you gotta be flushing that out. I think dry fasting is just asking for like kidney stones and gallbladder stones, getting all dried out, and calcium deposits. I might do like a 48-hour dry fast as an experiment. I don't know, about 8 days. I feel dehydrated just when I wake up in the morning. Like I'm always, well, I wear this BiPAP when I sleep, so I've got a high flow of air going in and out of my mouth. So when I wake up, it's like cat tongue dryness. Alright, there's no cars coming this way. This point right here is actually exactly 1 mile from my house. So when I come out and just do like a maintenance walk, I'd walk away from my house for 1 mile, and when my watch go off, turn around and go back home. So do like a 2 mile round tripper. I think it's time to put on the headlamp. See how it lights things up. There we go. Tell the difference. No light. Headlight. It helps. Whew. What other topics do we have to discuss? Yeah, so I told Misty about ChatGPT. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you should download that ChatGPT app. All the thumbnails on my videos, all the logos that I made, those are all made by ChatGPT. So, back in the day, I used to have artists making me stuff. Now I just type in what I want into ChatGPT. It spits it out in like 10 seconds. It's incredible. I remember like back when in the 90s, early 2000s, when he talked about like technology replacing jobs, we thought it would be like robots replacing manual labor, factory workers, and which to a point that's true. Like all the big robotic arms and stuff they put into factories has definitely replaced a lot of those type of labor jobs. But there's really not robots putting roofs on houses and stuff right now. And really, with this whole ChatGPT stuff, this new form of AI, it's not the manual labor jobs that are at risk. It's the like some artistic jobs, which thought that would be like the last jobs to go. You know, when like chess robots and stuff start beating humans, they'd be like, well, they'll never be replacing humans' art abilities. That's like one of the first things this new imagination of AI has come for. Art. And it's good at like, you know, white collar jobs. It's really coming after white collar jobs more than it's coming after blue collar jobs. Like we're implementing a lot of stuff in my job where I work in support, where, you know, a lot of the low-hanging fruit questions that customers would call in and ask are being answered by artificial intelligence now. We have, when people can chat in for support, it asks them a bunch of questions, and like some of the common problems, it'll just spit out, you know, here's a link, might have a video that, you know, someone in tech support made on how to solve this problem, and that person never ends up talking to anyone in support. They just get sent a link to a video with an article with some steps on try this, and it'll ask, did this fix the problem? Yes, it did, thank you. They never talk to a human. And it's a pretty big portion of calls are not coming into a person anymore in support. And I'm pretty sure that's true in a lot of industries. And the bots are getting, you know, it's not like they're getting almost indistinguishable from a real person. You don't even know if you're talking to a bot anymore. They sound like a real person. So as those capabilities ramp up and it's able to fix more stuff, like Microsoft is going to have a lot of stuff built into the operating system to where it, you know, if a certain thing happens, if a certain error comes up in the event log, it knows how to fix itself. That's what I envision. You get this error comes up and it knows, hey, I've got to change this setting. I've got to make this configuration change. And if it's something in the environment, it'll just, you know, pop up a notification or send you an email saying you got event ID 1078. This means that port number 443 is not open on your router. Here's how to forward port 443 to the server to correct this error. And then they follows those steps, and boom, their problem's fixed. They never call Microsoft, and a support person has one less case. And then scale that up, it's just going to be more and more things are going to be fixed by AI, especially in my line of work. So it's kind of good that I'm on my way out. I'm ready to retire. It's been a long time. In like 20, how many years have I been doing this? Like 25 years? That's long enough. I'm getting burnt out. And it's constant too, like every 3 years there's a new operating system, server operating system that I gotta learn all the new stuff for, all the new solutions. Gotta get like new certifications, re-up your certifications. I'm just sick of the whole learning loop. I learned enough. I learned enough. Leave me alone. Yeah, they're digging. Look at that, they're digging up all the way back. They're like gonna over double the width of this road. It's pretty cool. Let's look over here.
Sprint pace.
Oh.
14 seconds per mile.
5 miles. 18 minutes, 14 seconds a mile. So this is my standard loop. Probably have like another half mile from here. So like 5.5 miles on that loop. Plus I just inside my house, walking from my bedroom to my kitchen and to the bathroom. Like I walk like a mile a day just inside my house. So it's, with this routine, I go over 6 miles a day. And then I did this every day, 10 weeks straight. I need to get back on the horse. It ended up being like walking like 200 miles a month. That's mini marathons a month. My street here is lit up pretty well. Where am I at on my tee? About there. And then I go home, I draw myself a hot bath, and I dump Epsom salts in the bath, and I soak for like a half hour while I watch YouTube videos on my phone. And I was doing that, and I had my iPad mini, and I dropped it in the bathtub, and I killed it. So that was unfortunate. And then I bought a new iPad Pro with the M4 chip, 10-inch one. But I've not been brave enough to bring that to the bathtub. It's a little bit more pricey than the Mini too, or the iPad Mini, whatever. Here's the other fire station. This would be my fire station that would come save me if I had a fire at my house. It's nice living that close to a fire station. I could get to my house in like 30 seconds if they were really trying. So let me know if you made it through this whole video. I watch a lot of videos of, like hour-long videos. Mine are usually like travel videos. I watch a lot of travel with Chris. That's kind of where I got the idea for travel with Jason. Well, I tried travel with Jason, that was taken, so I did traveling with Jason. But travel with Chris kind of gave me the idea. And then I just made everything with Jason. Traveling with Jason, eating with Jason, walk and talk with Jason. Someone said, where's the spooning with Jason videos? And cuddle up in bed and spoon with you in some videos. Could do a sleeping with Jason. Just record myself sleeping all night. Post those every night. Would you watch a 7-hour video of me sleeping? It'd be funny if I made that channel and it took off. There actually have been like Twitch streamers that stream themselves 24 hours a day. So they would stream themselves sleeping all night long, and they'd have thousands of people in the chat talking about them sleeping. So really the craziest thing that you could think of that would be so absurd no one could possibly tune in and watch it. People actually do. And sometimes the most absurd things is the things that people tune in for because no one else is doing it. If you're doing something and you're the only one doing it, you've cornered the market. But I'm not making a Sleeping with Jason channel. I am going to experiment with some shorts channels that I'm not going to tell anyone about because YouTube is kind of pushing shorts, and I'm just going to make stupid, brain rot, dumb, short 5-second videos and pump them out because there's been people that are getting like 1 million subs. Hello. 1 million subs making these stupid brain rot shorts channels. I would not subject any of you to those channels, but I do want to experiment with doing it. I might tell you if I hit 1 million subs on it on the channel doing that stupid stuff, I'll tell you about it. But it's going to be stupid videos. It's mostly like 5-second videos saying like, sub and comment, and you get a free whatever. Well, you can't promise that you're going to get something for free, but they talk about getting stuff for free in the video, suggesting that if you subscribe and comment, you'll get something for free. And you might send one free thing out per every 1,000 subs you get. But it's mostly like, I don't know. I don't know who's subscribing, because the things that you offer for free are just stupid little stuff you can buy on Amazon for $5. All right, we made it back. Let's see. We're at 5.47 miles. Let me turn my headlamp off, blinding you. 5.48. We're at 1 hour and 42 minutes. 1 hour and 43 minutes. So 13 minutes past my record time. But 18-minute and 45-second per mile pace. Oh, it feels so good in here. It feels so good. Thanks for coming on that walk with me. Strip this stuff off. My mic's still on there. This hat off. The hat makes a good sweatband too. And then I turn on my hub, make a bathing with Jason video. I do actually have a video on my Wicked Shrapnel channel taking a bath. Oh, I made so many stupid videos. All right, I'm gonna go take a bath. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll talk to you later. Take it easy.